Hello, Ivan here with Vine Skills, and I want to take a minute to show you guys the brand new leads report that just came out in Lead Docket, and it's a really useful tool. It has several features. I'm going to cover some of them in this video. One of the big ones is obviously now pushing this data to Domo through this new Domo data integration. Or any other external tools really, so you can add integrations to other tools. I'm going to cover that in a slightly separate video that is a little bit more technical and how to integrate it with your data warehouses and just report from there. This video is really more focused on how to use this new leads report as a front end user, right? Not necessarily in a dashboarding tool. So if you go into it, if you haven't seen it, first, you'll see that it's slightly different kind of design. This resembles more of your file vine report, but actually with some enhanced features. So on the right side, you'll see all the columns that you want to report on. So let's say I want to run a report on my signed leads this month, but I want to see only the ones that are assigned to me. And I want to maybe even filter by other specific criteria. You're going to see that that's possible. So first I'm gonna just add maybe the summary field here. So I'm gonna add the summary. I'm gonna get the MVA, summary, maybe the messages AI. So I'm adding columns to my report right now. And let's say I don't want the last name. I don't need the created date or something like this. So I can actually customize whatever columns I want in here. I really like to have lead ID, but I'll remove it for now. I'll leave created date in there. So I can create the columns that I want, including any columns that are specific actual, custom fields. So I think there's like a police report or police agency. Here it is. I'm just going to add one in there. Maybe I want to use look at that specific field. I can select the columns I want, click next. Then here's the criteria. This is where it gets really interesting because you now can search any field in your lead docket and filter by it with multiple different criteria. So look at this. This is interesting. If you go here into intake, for example, I want to first maybe look at only where the assigned to intake equals me. So I'm going to put here myself in there. But I also want to look at the ones where the summary, or actually I want to look at like a specific case type. And the case type can be this. Now, if the field here is a text box, right? So if you look at this one, for example, as a text box. Or I can, let me try one here just for now. There it is. The text box will give you the conditions for text, right? So you can say contains this certain thing, right? So I can say contains certain keyword in here. And you see that these are all kind of putting on top of each other. So let me go ahead and remove these two because I want to show you one more thing. The date. So I want to look at my leads that have an appointment schedule coming up, right? Or this month. So this is really interesting because it gets pretty granular. You can go like really granular with this. I'm going to go ahead and hit run. I'm going to have nothing in here because I don't really have anything that meets all these criteria. So let me just remove some of these and let me expand this for like maybe a bigger period of time. So here are my leads. You can see that these are the columns that I configured. I can save it to myself, right? So I'm going to call it like Ivan sign leads with police agency. I can share with others so other people can actually see this as well. I'm going to hit schedule, save, and then you can do a couple of things. Obviously, you can go back and schedule it. And this is really nice because now you have a lot more flexibility. So you can actually do weekly, monthly, quarterly. You can add other recipients and things like this. This data sync is what we're going to cover on the other Domo video. And this has more to do with the integration on the other side. So I can either schedule this, but I don't really want to schedule this. What I like about this report is it can actually become somewhat of a working report. So now up in here on this saved, I have my report that I can go and look at it right here. And I can easily just run it and look at my leads, right? Or I can rerun it to update it, whenever I want. And I can have this be an actual working report. So for example, I want to look at these ones, but I also want to look at only my chase leads that are assigned to me where the case type is this, right? You can do all of that in this report and even more. So I hope this helps. This is a really new tool, brand new. There's still things changing in here, and it's super helpful. So let me know if you have any questions or if you want to suggest any new recordings that we can do on new features as well. Happy to do that. Thank you.